Welcome back. Martinique and St. Lucia have been working collaboratively in the fight against COVID-19. On Friday, the French Embassy officially handed over medical equipment to St. Lucia. During the ceremony, 50 military folding beds, 10 cardiac monitors and 2 ventilators were donated in an effort to aid in the fight against COVID-19. Genevieve Gonzague reports.
On Friday, the French Embassy made a very generous donation to St. Lucia to assist in the fight against COVID-19. In recent months, there have been incidents of illegal entries from Martinique into St. Lucia. Acting Chargé d'Affaires at the French Embassy in St. Lucia, Marc Matilio, explained that the territories are actively collaborating on matters relating to security.
In the current context of the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic, it was decided a few weeks ago, through a mutual agreement, to strengthen maritime cooperation by placing French Navy vessels in the territorial waters between the two islands to intercept any attempt at illegal entry into any of the islands. These vessels are coordinating with competent authorities of St. Lucia, in particular with the Marine Police Unit.
From the donation, St. Lucia received 50 military folding beds, 10 cardiac monitors and 2 ventilators. An additional 40 medical beds are due to arrive by mid-December. It was also noted that over 10,000 face masks were donated on Wednesday for officials in direct contact with the public, in particular members of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Department of External Affairs, Gulam Simon, welcomed the donation.
This is extremely timely. As we indicated, as we can see, the numbers are in fact rising of late, and of course the issue, so the cots would come in handy in terms of placement of persons, of course the ventilators and the monitors as well. So it is indeed quite timely, these donations from the French government.
St. Lucia has enjoyed a fruitful relationship with the French. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Following a recent incident where a Gros-Soleil minibus operator was robbed at gunpoint, the president of the National Council on Public Transportation is issuing a word of caution to drivers.
Minibus operators continue to be targets for thieves. On Wednesday, reports indicate that a Gros-Soleil minibus operator was held at gunpoint and robbed of all his valuables. Speaking in the aftermath of the incident, the president of the National Council on Public Transportation, Godfrey Ferdinand, has cautioned drivers to be on their guard.
Just asking the bus operators in this season to be more careful, because we know around this season there seems to be more attack on the bus operators. And we are also asking them to be more careful because there is an increase in the coronavirus, at least community spread. So we want them to be more careful in how they operate and make sure that they sanitize and also wear a mask, and also that the members of the public wear a mask when they are coming on the bus, so that everybody would be safe.
Ferdinand made reference to the incident on Wednesday, where the driver was hired for a trip off his route and then robbed. He says he does understand that extra money may seem nice and come in handy, but they need to be careful.
We are asking individuals to do trips with persons they know, be acquainted with. Do not just take random trips. Sometimes these things are setups. Yes, the money might look good, but you don't know the individual. Try not to do trips with individuals you do not know. Try also to stay within your route and do trips with individuals from your community and your friends.
He offered a few more tips to drivers.
So we are asking bus drivers to be aware of their surrounding. Try at all times to operate when it's dark with your roof light on, which is legislated, and to try to work in pairs and with each other cooperatively, knowing where each other is and who is on the bus, and try to always have a very visual approach in what they're doing, so they can scan their surrounding and try to know all the passengers.
Ferdinand says he understands that COVID-19 has put drivers in a precarious position. However, they need to ensure they preserve their lives in order to be able to continue their livelihoods. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Prime Minister Alan Chastanet, in a closing speech at a press conference which followed a NEMAC meeting on Friday, appealed to the citizenry to let the Christmas season inspire more togetherness and vigilance among each other. The PM said although the government is satisfied that the state-implemented protocols are showing signs that they are working despite opposition, he says St. Lucians working together in a neighborly fashion would make the stamping out of COVID-19 even more effective.
It is a season for giving, it's a season of faith, it's a season to remind us how important family is. And if the year 2020 has shown us anything, it clearly has shown the importance of faith. To be appreciative of our Creator for what He has done for us. And it may seem that at times He's heartless, but I think for the most part, people would have to admit St. Lucia has been spared.
The Prime Minister implored the nation to be especially mindful of those less fortunate in society.
Any breach exposes all of us, exposes ourselves, exposes our family members, and more importantly, exposes the more vulnerable persons in our society. And I would have thought that those were compelling enough reasons for everyone to strictly adhere. Sadly, some persons are not doing it, and maybe like in school, they need to have somebody constantly reminding them of what they need to do.
The Prime Minister stresses that the fight to eliminate COVID-19 is a collective effort. Mayor of Castries, Peter St. Francis, is touting the success of the traffic lights project. He says the city has recorded reduced traffic congestion with the recent installation of the traffic lights. The project has seen the city's largest installation of traffic lights on all major thoroughfares in Castries. Mayor Francis says the project was very timely and is a perfect marriage with other major projects in the capital. Based on his own assessment, he says the traffic nightmares in Castries have been eliminated, and for that he commends the Ministry of Infrastructure on a job well done. He further described the traffic lights project as a beacon of hope which lights up the developmental agenda of the city and St. Lucia. Stay with us. There's more news after the break.